When you ask somebody how serious the problem in Kenya is, and the response you're getting from virtually all sources is very serious, everybody's saying very serious. How are you supposed to interpret that? Now, of course, unfortunately, not everybody is a journalist. Not everybody is good at expressing themselves to give you a clear picture, like a journalist is supposed to. People in different professions, where other issues are more important than their ability to express themselves. However, there is a video that has been doing the rounds on social media of President Ruto in a mall in Eldoret, late at night, walking around. And that particular video has attracted a lot of attention. Now, can I ask you a question? Why? The president is walking around in a mall late at night. Yeah. What is so surprising about that? What should attract people's interest? Why are people so keen? Why is the attention of people being held so closely by that small clip? Why? Well, one possible reason is that some people are interpreting it to mean that it could be an indication of how serious the cash crunch crisis in Kenya at the moment is. Think about it. When an individual is in crisis, what do they do? How do they behave? Etc., etc. Because make no mistake about it, the holder of the office, President of the Republic of Kenya, is usually a very informed Kenyan. Indeed, the most informed Kenyan. They know a lot. So what does Ruto know that we don't know? How serious is this crisis? What should we really prepare ourselves for? Now, in my previous video, I suggested that appointments play a major role. I mean, when you replace a very competent person, like in the case of Kinoti, with somebody else, just because you don't like that person, just because that person took instructions from a previous regime you didn't like, yeah, then you know we are back to the Moi days, when only loyalists were appointed and mediocre people who could not do the job. That is how you take a country down. Okay? And so I'm in the school of thought that whatever problems we are facing currently as a country, a contributing factor must be the decisions made by the UD government from the minute they took over. Decisions in many aspects, and especially in appointments. Because in management we know how well a company does depends very heavily on the quality of their key staff. Yeah, so you just need to ask yourself a simple question. What is the quality of the key staff running the country called Kenya right now? And there you have all the answers you may be looking for. Now, in other news, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta attended a church service in the Nyali area in Mombasa, yeah, on Sunday, yesterday. And the former president received a very warm welcome. Yeah. Indeed, it is very interesting. No other retired president in the history of our country has had such a high approval rating so soon after leaving office. Because when Moi left office, for almost a year, people didn't want to hear the name Moi. And when Mwai Kibaki left office, again it took many months for people to start warming up to the former president. But Uhuru has been out of office only for a few months, and Kenyans are showing him so much love. Maybe it's reflected in the view that the former president had a lot of strengths that our current president does not have. And this is very visible with what is currently happening in our country. But I didn't bring up Uhuru just to tell you about the church service. I'm sure you can get that information anywhere. What really caught my attention was the president's speech, and specifically the remark he made that he'll be talking a lot about our politics in the days and weeks to come. Huh? Now that is super fascinating. Indeed, Kenyans have been crying, appealing, looking for Uhuru to say something, which I find super fascinating, especially because the UDA regime has never lost an opportunity to criticize the former president. In fact, they're blaming him for the mess the country is in right now, despite the fact that we know that this government is spending like there's no tomorrow, and then telling us that we have a financial crisis caused by Uhuru. Yeah, well, they're spending like there's no tomorrow. And then in the same breath, they're telling us all these financial problems were caused by the previous government. And of course, we know part of the previous government, especially between 2013 and 2017, yeah, when William Ruto was a major decision maker, part and parcel of that government was the current president, whichever way you want to look at it. Anyway, it is very instructive that despite all that Uhuru bashing, Kenyans still love Uhuru a lot. Doesn't that tell you something? And so if you can step back, it may be a good idea to get a very clear picture of what's happening in Kenyan politics, to step back and look at those two men and the different circumstances they were captured in on Sunday. Ruto walking around in a mall in Eldoret late at night, or Uhuru attending a church service, refusing to talk politics at that church service, but being shown a lot of love by Kenyans. And of course, Uhuru looked very relaxed. Let that picture sink in to your mind. What is your interpretation? What is your analysis? Now, in subsequent videos, I'll be going deeper because I have some information that I have not yet been able to confirm, which will go into my next video, so you better not miss it. Yeah, but we'll start with that image. Somebody in a mall late at night, somebody being shown love by Kenyans. Trust me, it means a lot. Now, just a quick reminder about my weekly intelligence briefings. We're coming to the end of the Easter holidays and the end of this offer. So take full advantage of it. Better to make it last minute than not to make it at all. I believe you can see details on your screens right now. I highly recommend it because a lot of what is happening, including the information I'm going to give you tomorrow, some of it will be too sensitive, and therefore we'll go into my weekly intelligence briefings, number 105. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.